So did you always dream of becoming a CXO, CFO rather?
That I did not took up some opportunities that came across my way where I was probably getting some of the big names in terms of companies. So I was someone who always wanted to keep doing something or the other. So always looking to learn something additional in my journey. I would say I feel comfortable being uncomfortable. So getting out of comfort zone is something that I like.
Before you become a CXO, start delivering like a CXO. Hi everyone. Today we have a very interesting person with us. Interesting CXO, Shiv Gupta, who is the CFO of Mayo College General Counsel. It's recently he has transitioned into this role, and I'm super happy and super excited to have him. You know why? It's been since last 8 months, we have been working together. And as a coach, it's amazing to see how he has transitioned and taken on this amazing challenge and upgraded his career trajectory. So, welcome all and welcome Shiv
Thank
for
you.
this podcast.
Thank you so much, Radhika.
So, I'm super happy here, Shiv, to see your growth, see your career trajectory rising and shooting to the next level. Since the last 8 months that we have been working together, this is like really a cherry on the cake for me. Really, well, let's understand what has happened, what did you do differently, and our audience will be really eager to know your journey. So let's begin with understanding where you started it all from.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Radhika, for this opportunity. I'm feeling really amazed to talk to you in this podcast. I don't know how should I explain, but this is really amazing. So in terms of my journey, I'll maybe give a quick introduction of me. I'm a chartered accountant qualified in 2002. I also did my US CPA in 2008. So I was someone who always wanted to keep doing something or the other. So always looking to learn something additional in my journey. In the process, I also ended up doing a senior management program from IIM Ahmedabad in 2019-20. So in terms of my experience, I have about 22 years of experience in finance. It was interesting that I worked with very different kind of industries. I started with real estate, then moved to education, hospitality, financial services, IT, payments, and then now today I am into core education. So it has been a great experience working across all these different industries. While my forte was always finance, but as part of my finance responsibilities, I was always eager to learn and understand the business. So working with these different industries give me that perspective, give me that great understanding of different businesses. So that's how I would say I grew up in my career. I was not someone who wanted to maybe consider finance as a back office function. Ended up maybe doing some accounting or some data processing kind of job. But I always wanted to be closer connected to the business. And that's how I kind of had this journey in my career and here where I am today.
Superb. So what's very interesting is that, normally, so I'm also a finance person. So I qualified as a chartered accountant in 2001. And I have known people other CAs as well. So typically who pick up the finance function, they are, if someone is in the banking sector, banking finance, they move from one banking finance to another banking finance. If they are in corporate finance, they move from one corporate finance to another corporate finance. These are the kind of roles they move. What really intrigues me and is fascinating for me is the fact that you have moved into different industries, right from real estate to IT to hospitality to education, ed tech, and now into core education. This entire spread that you have created is truly fascinating. What is the thing what made you think that you should keep moving in this fashion and rather than taking just one space and it's going deep into it?
So I think I would say it was, like I said, I always wanted to learn, and I did not want myself to limit to one particular industries. Though we say that finance is common, you must have heard that finance is common across industries. I would say that is true to some extent, because ultimately, see, whether it is finance or any other function, the bigger purpose or the core purpose of any function is to support the business, help the business grow. So in that perspective, I had that opportunity, or I wanted to get that opportunity to understand different businesses. You can say that was kind of an aspiration or a goal that I had, that I should have visibility, I should have understanding of multiple aspects of business or multiple aspects of things happening around me, so that whenever I get to that CXO position, I have that perspective, I have that visibility, instead of just like having understanding or knowledge of one particular industry and then limiting myself to that.
Fantastic. So did you always dream of becoming a CXO, CFO rather?
I would say yes, because that was one, I would say, intentional choice that I took in the beginning of my career, that I did not took up some opportunities that came across my way, where I was probably getting some of the big names in terms of companies. But what I was kind of afraid of, that if I join those big, very big companies, I would be maybe just one small part of the finance function, not even have visibility to what is happening, let's say, even within the finance function. Whereas my vision, my aspiration was to understand what's happening in the business, how I can contribute to the business. So in that sense, yes, I wanted to kind of expand myself to helping the business to be the business, and get into a position where I have as much visibility as I can. So that was kind of my vision, and that's what I would say. Yes, I wanted to get to that level of a CXO or a CFO, which I am right now. You never know, I would be still aspiring to become a CEO, because I always wanted to be excited and be as close to the business.
Superb. Thank you so much. That was very, very, very interesting. So apart from, what is it that you wish to see for yourself as a CFO of a Mayo College?
So I'll say, see, Mayo College is a pretty prestigious institution, and it has a very long history of almost 150 years. And I am there now helping or working with the rest of the team at Mayo College. So what I would really like to do is to kind of work along with all of them, and see how all of us can take Mayo College to the next level. See, it is an honor to work with an organization like this, with such a great history and such a great brand recognition in the country. So I would like to continue working on that sense, and then whatever experience I have gained across industries, across different side of you can say the work that I have done, which was let's say majority of my career was in multinational companies. So whatever I have learned, I would like to see how I can use that, how can it help the organization that I am working with to be a better and more efficient and more impactful organization. So that is what kind of my purpose would be.
Awesome. So 6-7 months back when we met Shiv, we spoke about different things, and there were things which you wanted to ponder over. There were certain confusions. There were things which you were wanting to shift, and you felt somewhat like, what next? I think that's where we began our journey. So from there to you becoming a CFO today, you want to just throw some light on what kind of mindset shift you worked on, and that helped you to actually identify this opportunity as well as give your best to be there.
Sure. See, I'll tell you, I had 20 plus years of career, let's say when we met a few months back. And it was reasonable, successful career that I had. I had good feedback from all the people that I worked with. But again, after 20 years, it was like, what next? I've been doing finance. I have been holding positions. I was working as a finance leader for some time. But what next? Where do I really wanted to go? I had some thoughts, and like as I told you earlier, I was someone who always wanted to learn something or the other. But then when I was trying to figure out what next, so one thing that, let's say, I kind of concluded that no more academics. I think I've done enough of academics. So, and then I started thinking, what should I do? Then I think maybe a coach or a mentor is somebody who can really help me connecting the dots that were like all spread all over. I had some thoughts, I was doing something, so it was kind of not there and not very in a concise and in a purposeful way. So that was my thought of, and I started looking who could be there and to help me. And then through a friend, I come across you, and I spoke to you, and that's how this journey started. So the big advantage or the outcome that I would say I got in last 6-7 months is that I became more intentional. I became more purposeful. I was able to express myself in the sense that what I wanted to do. Had someone asked me earlier, I would say I could do that or I could do something else. But then I had that vision, yes, this is what I want to do. I wanted to get to a particular position. So I was more intentional.
Fantastic. So, what would you like to tell aspiring CXOs? You know, what is happening today in the market is a lot of people who have done their CA back then, maybe 10, 15, 20 years back, maybe in 2020, 2001 too, finance was like this hot market. Okay, I think even I was there, so I know. In fact, my father also told me that, बेटा तू साइंस मत कर, तू finance कर, वहीं पे market अच्छा है, you will get a good job and you will be earning good money also. And I was too young to make a decision which is different, and I said, if daddy says it's good for me, I will go and do it. And yes, I saw a lot of people in finance actually growing. Now 20 years later, we have a new market trend, which is AI, data. A lot of people are like talking, it's the buzzword in the market. And I also find a lot of finance guys suddenly with 20 years, 25 years work ex feeling a little out of place, saying that, oh, I'm not in the right market. I should probably do data. I should probably do AI. Maybe fintech is my place. Maybe this. Did you not come across that kind of a challenge? What is your take on following the market trend vis-a-vis what you have done? Because education, core education is so different from all the multinational companies, etc., that you have worked.
Yeah. See, I would say you're right. So, and this is how I will put it like this. So, finance way back in 2001, 2002, it was very kind of sought after career, very visible, very and rewarding. To some extent, I would say it is still there. Probably we are not seeing it as bright or as rewarding because we have many other options now. Back in those days, there were not many other options, so it was like the star. But having said that, you would agree that finance is something that will be there forever. See, there are technologies which were there, very prevalent, very popular a few years back, but doesn't exist today. Finance is not something. It may transform, but the core of finance, the accounting will always remain same. Whatever you do, you will still have that basics of how much is spent, how much you have earned. So that was, I think, it's a forever kind of thing. Then second, following with respect to the latest industry trends, yes, it is very, very relevant. But again, I would go back to the point that I made earlier. You have to be intentional and you have to be purposeful what you wanted to do. I am a finance professional. I have spent 22 years in finance. Now I can't just say tomorrow I'm no more doing finance. I'm doing something else. See, what instead I would try to do is that incorporate the new technologies, new trends in the finance function that I am leading, that I am working on. So I would say incorporate those new trends into your core strength, what you have, instead of just moving away from it and trying to be someone who you are not. Be yourself and then keep improving, keep learning.
Superb. That's actually makes me think that you've constantly upgraded the stage of influence and the stage of impact in your journey. And, be it from, I think you mentioned to me a while back that in the real estate space where you started, it was a 25 crore kind of a company that you managed.
Yeah.
And every time you moved up, it was the next stage, the next stage. It was never a parallel movement. It was always the next stage. And that just shows that you're probably very adventurous, risk taking, and also explorative in nature, because that's how I could understand your journey. And whenever a transition happens, a risk has to be taken.
Yes.
Whenever transition happens, there is an element of uncomfortableness that happens. What I have understood is you have been actually moving from one, as soon as you're comfortable in an industry, you have actually jumped into another industry. Anything you would like to share about getting out of comfort zone? Do you really feel uncomfortable being comfortable?
I would say I feel comfortable being uncomfortable. So getting out of comfort zone is something that I like. So because see, otherwise what will happen if you're doing the same thing, probably you will have some boredom. You will not be as creative, as innovative as you would like you to be. So my perspective or my effort was always to understand something else or gain some new knowledge. So but yes, it is a risk, I would agree. But then if you want to be adventurous, if you want to learn something, you have to take that risk. Having said that, you also need to prepare for it. You just can't say that I am doing this and there is a risk, let it be. No, you have to prepare yourself. You might want to gain some understanding about the venture or the industry that you are looking to go it, and be open for learning. Another important thing that I would say what has really helped me transitioning across the industries is that when you go there, I think you have to first. So there is two steps. One is to get into that. So I think for that you have to have that open mindset that yes, you are open to learn. In fact, learn something beforehand as well. That was always helpful. And then once you are there, then I think you have to again keep an open mind. And then the one very important thing that you should do is to build relationship, and not only with internal stakeholders but with the external stakeholders as well. See, in some of the companies that I worked with, while you can say the finance is typically a back office function, but I took that initiative. I reached out to my business heads that, let's say when you are going for a customer meeting next time, I want to join you. I want to go and have the customer meet the customer. We can talk about something in finance, as best as something or this other will always be there. I will talk about receivables, I will talk about the pricing. So that's how. And then meeting with the customer is one example. So you get a lot of insights about the business, you get a lot of perspective about the business. So I think that makes you comfortable into that transition that you are making into the another industry.
Amazing. What you shared something was very powerful. One of the key things is you have always tried to identify and relate finance with the business requirements.
Yes.
And which I think has helped you to really stand out compared to most other finance people who typically focus on giving their deliverables there. And what I really understood is that by aligning yourself with the business requirements, you have been able to bring in process improvements, add innovation, and also give an outstanding deliverable. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. One thing I would like to ask is, what are your passion? What is it that you really love to do outside of work?
So I love traveling. I love traveling as well as I love planning to travel.
Okay.
So if I have to go somewhere, I'll probably see 20 options. What flight can I take? What hotel I should book? And then even after I have booked, then I'll see what are the, can we do some changes. So I think planning to travel is one option, and one option, or you can say it has kind of necessity of today, is to work on my fitness. So I'm trying to gain some passion around that, working on my fitness. So I have started walking. I ran my first marathon at the age of 40. though it was not a full marathon, but still for me it was a big step. Getting out of my comfort zone. Since then I have ran 4 marathons, so that is the new passion that I am building.
Awesome. So which was the last place you traveled to?
So I traveled to Vietnam.
Okay.
I was there for about 8-10 days, and we traveled across Vietnam.
Amazing. So Shiv, you are a chartered accountant, and you have worked over the last 20 years, and now you are a chief financial officer of a very large and a prestigious university or a college of the country. Do you really think that people who probably may not have those credentials or the background, can they achieve the role of a CEO or a CXO in their journey? What's your thought on that?
Yes, they can. So that will be my quick answer. So I think, see, it is again like you would come across many CAs or many MBAs, but everyone would have their very different career trajectory. So yes, I would not deny that having a right credentials help you. But if you are not having right credential, then probably you might have to take a couple of additional steps, or you might have to maybe do a bit of more hard work, a bit of more preparation. But it is not impossible. You can, with right mindset, with the right attitude, and with obviously that eagerness to learn, you can be there. So it's not impossible.
I quite agree with what you're saying, Shiv. So as a CXO coach, I also believe that the 3 key factors which really help a person grow is, of course, knowledge is important, skills which over the period of years we develop and build the strength. But I think the moment we start creating the right results for the organization and creating the impact at a level which is really larger than what you're doing right now, and an impact which is at a level of a CXO, I think the role cannot be too far away for you. Before, this is what I always tell in the classroom as well, that before you become a CXO, start delivering like a CXO.
Yes.
The role can't be too far away for you.
See, like you say, so anything that you want to do, the first time it happens is in your mind. So till the time it doesn't happen in your mind, it can't happen outside in real world.
Fantastic. I mean, if you believe it to happen, the first step is you see it for yourself, then the world sees it for you. So Shiv, you just shared that about 6-7 months back, you chose to be part of the CXO Incubator. I mean, it's important to invest time in yourself. And a lot of people shy away from that. They say that, time nahi hai. I want to do this. My whole day is so packed with so many things, so many aspects of responsibilities, family, house, society, everything, so many responsibilities. How did you really manage to take time out and give it a priority that no, it's now my time that I invest in myself?
See, I would say you will never find a time to do anything. You have to get the time for yourself. So whether it is your self-development, whether it is fitness, you have to do that conscious effort. You have to be very, very intentional. Yes, I want to do that. And then you can see. Now, if anyone who says that he or she does not have time, if they look at the schedule carefully, they will see there are a lot of inefficiencies. So as we do process optimization in our day-to-day corporate jobs, if you see your time schedule and try to bring in some efficiencies in that, you will find time. It is all about the intention. It is all about how eager, how determined you are to work on your self-development, work on your fitness, work on improving yourself. So you have to be intentional, and then you will automatically get the time.
What do you do if you feel like I have to give up?
I generally don't feel that, but yes, whenever there is such situation. So I think one easy thing that I do, if I don't want to, I'm feeling I'm sitting and then maybe I should do something and then I'm not feeling like it, then at least one thing that I do and just close everything, go out for 5 minutes, take some deep breaths, and then come back. Then it's a different perspective. Then you can easily start. That's at least my experience. You can easily start what you wanted to do. just take a break.
Amazing. So thank you so much. As a parting, I would like to ask one last question, Shiv. How do you feel being surrounded by an ecosystem of aspiring CXOs, of growth mindset CXOs, and who are really wanting to be taking the next leap in their journey? How has that, being part of such an ecosystem or part of that CXO ecosystem, really influenced you in your life, in your decisions?
So, in terms of the one word answer, if I say it's energy, and then see, basically, when you have like minded people, when you have growth driven people around you, there is a lot of positivity, a lot of energy, and you get motivation from it. And then the other thing, like as human being, we're always look to be or try to be competitive, and then when someone is doing something, then you also want to do. So that way is kind of a real good motivation that you get. And then the other thing, you also have that feeling that, let's say you are trying to do something, or that means you're taking a risk. What if things doesn't go the way that you wanted things to go? So then you have that within that ecosystem, you have a lot of friends that you would meet, a lot of new people that you meet. Meeting people, making new friends always give you energy and always give you that support, that even if things doesn't go well, it's fine, you can ask for help, you can take some input from the people who have done it. So that in both the ways, it is basically motivates you, energize you, as well as give you a comfort that if things doesn't go the way that you want, then you have still the people to support you. So another important aspect is, see, when you are working and you are learning, you come across different things, and you may or may not be expert at all. So if you need some help with the ecosystem, there are so many diverse profiles, so many diverse experienced people are there. So you can always have that connect, that you can get that information, get some quick clarity that you want just over a phone call. So that is also a big advantage, that you have that knowledge around you across the different functions, domain, and expertise. So that's also something that you can leverage.
Amazing. So thank you so much, Shiv, for joining us on this podcast. As we heard, his whole journey, his passion for finance has taken him through different industries. He's been constantly exploring, constantly taking new steps, new risks, and exploring how to connect finance with business. And this journey has led him to be a CFO of a large school of the country, a very prestigious one. And through this journey, I'm sure he's going to create impacts on many, many students, and is going to, and I wish you the very best in your new journey. And we are looking forward to new leaders from this space under your guidance.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Radhika.